Why study mythology? Myths are ancient stories that have been handed down from generation to generation in a particular culture. The suffix ology means the study of. Therefore, mythology is the study of myth. By studying the myths of a culture, a person can learn how people in that culture thought, lived, and expressed themselves. Myths began as religious stories. Stories that explained why the universe worked the way it does. Most people today use the word myth to indicate a story that is false. Ancient people took their myths as truth. It's just that for many cultures, the religious beliefs that were connected with the myths have often fallen away. A myth stripped of its credibility is still not a lie. It becomes a story, and in many cases, a good story. Today, when we read the myths of the ancient Greeks and Romans, we do not do so for any religious significance. The religion is gone, but the story remains. It's also important to understand how mythology works. Only through reading and studying myths can you understand the process. How is a myth made? How do myths shape a people? What messages do myths send to future generations like you? When you understand this process, you can look at your own culture and ask, what will our message be? What mark will we leave on an ever-changing world? If history is deeds, then myth are words. What are our words for the future? From Greek to me. Who were the Greeks? On the surface, it seems like an easy question. The ancient Greeks were the people who inhabited ancient Greece. That's one answer. But what were they like? And more importantly, why should we care? To answer the second question, let's list some things that got their start in ancient Greece. Science. The Greeks were the first scientists. Philosophy. The Greeks were the first philosophers. Democracy. Ancient Athens provided the first working model of a democracy. Drama. The Greeks were the first real playwrights and actors. And history. The Greeks were the first historians. And these are only the things they started. We failed to mention the items that the Greeks didn't necessarily start, but nearly perfected. Things like poetry, architecture, politics, mathematics, sculpture, and war. Is there anything these people didn't do? There are a few things, but they covered most of the important points. What about all those civilizations that came after the Greeks? What about the Roman Empire, the British Empire, the United States of America? Didn't they accomplish something as well? Certainly. But that something is firmly planted on the Greek bedrock. Discuss. Think about television. If a teenager in the year 3001 discovered a week's worth of modern-day television programming, we're talking Netflix, Amazon Prime, what would he or she think of our culture? Is our entertainment industry, the people that make film and television and movies, is that a clear reflection of us as a people? Could you properly understand our current culture by just watching the movies and TV shows that we're watching right now?